Hey guys, I'm Unblessed Data, and welcome to another review. This time we have Arrow Season 1, Episode 13. This episode's titled, Betrayal. And just before we get started, just want to let you guys know that this review does contain spoilers. If you do not want to know what happened, I suggest you shut this off and run away. But, just a little bit before we get into this review, I just want to say that after looking at all the episodes of Arrow from its break and onward, you know what, they haven't been as good as when it first aired. And I know it's not a big time in between, but there's something about the episodes that just aren't as good. And I really think that this episode, episode 13, really brought back what made the first couple episodes really good. And it kind of got rid of what made the last couple of episodes not as fun and entertaining to watch. So, let's just get right into this review, and you can judge for yourself, I guess, but let's go. So right off the bat, we see that Oliver's mother's book is now in the hands of Oliver, and he finds out that his mother's book is actually a hit list with all the, well, not a hit list, but it has all the names as the book he has. So they're pretty identical, and he kind of wants to figure out, well, why does my mom have this? Like, well, what's the purpose of her having this? And now we go back to the good old flashback. Love these flashbacks, but, you know, let's go. Oliver, basically, after he gets away and escapes death, basically, after being thrown off a cliff into water, he finds a crashed plane. It's a downed plane, but it doesn't look like it's crashed recently, because there's, overgrowth on it, plants are on it. It's not on fire, so you know it's been there for a little while. But anyway, he goes in there, and a man drops from the ceiling of the plane. And basically, he grabs him and puts a knife against his neck, and that's all we get for this little tidbit of flashback. But it'll be explained later what's going on. But, it's really cool to see something like that. Pretty early in the episode, something, flashy, really cool. So, I really like that. Anyway, so Oliver goes straight to his mother and basically presents the book that he has to her and says, what's this about? And basically, she said that it's your father's book. It's a list of people who owed him favors. Which, I guess that could be right, because that kind of does make sense, but, I'm not all for it. It's probably a lie, especially coming from the mother. And right away, she grabs the book and throws it into a fire, so now the book's gone, so she obviously does not want Oliver to have it. And basically, she says the only way to be, for us to be safe, for our family to be safe, is to stop asking questions. And, that's... I mean, come on, if you don't understand, like, if you can't see that she's doing something wrong, she's acting a little shady here, like, come on, Oliver. But really, Oliver is really in a sense of, like, denial, because he really doesn't want to find out that his mother is doing bad things, he wants her to be good, he wants her not to be evil, it's for God's sakes, it's his mother, you know what I mean? So, anyway... Now, John basically thinks right off the bat that Oliver's mother's behind it, and everything like that, and again, Oliver kind of disagrees with her and everything. So now, Oliver has a choice to either help Laurel at this point, or, try to find the truth about his mother. But of course, he goes and helps Laurel. Laurel called him on the Arrow phone about a guy that, they need to take down. So, he kind of gets sidetracked, and of course, I don't think he wants to find out the truth about his mother, so he goes and helps Laurel. Basically, Laurel's dad is monitoring the phone, we knew that from last episode, and, yeah, so he basically knows what's going down, he knows, when they're gonna meet, Arrow and Laurel's gonna meet, and he basically knows when that's gonna happen, so he can catch Arrow finally. So basically, Arrow pays a visit to this crime guy, and he wants to team up with the Triad. So this evil guy in this episode, he's looking to basically expand what he's doing now, and he wants to join the Triad and all this stuff. He wants to, just be a bigger crime boss. And Arrow records the conversation. And basically, this evil guy kind of finds Arrow, and he basically says, you know what, I know how to get the attention of the Triad, I'm going to take down this vigilante. So that's what he wants to do now, he wants to kill Arrow to gain respect. Now, Arrow then sets up a meeting with Laurel to show her kind of what he found and everything, and basically Laurel's dad's going to go for him. Anyway, so, while this is going on, John is actually looking into trying to find out the truth about his mother, and basically he goes and becomes her like personal like driver, butler kind of guy, and kind of just follows her around and see what's going on, and it kind of works, and we'll get to that in a meeting. But anyway, Laurel and Arrow meet up, and basically right when Laurel's dad pops out, put your hands up, Arrow grabs Laurel and kind of uses her as a hostage for a second, but we know he would never hurt her, obviously. Then he lets her go and basically runs off the building. They met on top of the building, and Laurel's dad automatically runs after him. And at this point, Laurel's dad is basically in an obsession to catch Arrow. It's not about anything else now. It's just about it's an obsession. He's really obsessed with it, and there's really no need to go this far into it. And I mean, I can't remember if it was this episode or last episode, but they told him to get off the Arrow case too. But no, he's consistent. He wants to find, get Arrow. So I really think it's like a mental problem at this point with Laurel's dad. But anyway, Laurel's dad runs after him, and basically Oliver's waiting around the corner, well, Arrow, and he knocks him out. So at that point, I would have figured that Arrow would have tied up Laurel's dad and kind of talked to him as Arrow, but he doesn't. He just lets him go. He just runs away, and he's knocked out. So when he wakes up, of course, Laurel's all mad at him, yelling at him, and yeah. So yeah, we pretty much pictured that Laurel was gonna have a fit. So, but he really did use Laurel to catch Arrow, and he used his daughter, and that's kind of wrong. And basically, Laurel gives back the phone to her dad, the one to call Arrow. Now we go back to the whole thing with Oliver's mother, and Oliver's kind of fighting himself between, his conscience and John. He's basically saying, she's not a suspect, she's my mother, blah, blah, blah. And basically, this episode was kind of contrast to the episode where John, or Dingle, and his commanding officer, he kind of believed in his commanding officer really when he was bad, and now Oliver believes in his mother when she was actually really bad. So that was, they're kind of complementary episodes that kind of, shadow each other. Now, though, the evil guy that wants to take down Arrow is going after Laurel because he knows that she's connected with Arrow. So anyway, he's going to go after Laurel. Another flashback, and this time we see Oliver, and Oliver shows this guy that had him up against his, a knife up against his neck, the map, and basically they were trying to get to somewhere, and this other guy, and he tells him that his partner was compromised, and basically he needs a new partner. Maybe that's why that mysterious Oriental guy sent you here, and basically he hands Oliver a knife, and he wants to train with him and get him ready to break out of this island. And basically, so he trains him with swords and knives and all this stuff. And yeah, so then we go back to the normal present day, and Laurel opens the door to her like little apartment. Two guys burst in, and they start fighting, trying to grab her and everything. And Laurel goes all karate on them, like smashes one of their heads in a glass, all this stuff. Really cool fight scene, actually. And basically, Laurel kind of takes care of herself and takes down the two guys, but then the main head guy comes in and tasers her. So, I don't know, it's kind of random, just a random taser, but I guess it works. Yeah, so she tases her, and then John does some more snooping regarding Oliver's mother, and he spies on the mother talking to Jimmy's dad. So, basically, we know that, well, Jimmy's dad, we know, is evil, is like the head of everything, and Oliver's mom's talking to him, so she's kind of talking to everything about what's going on. So John records it, and he finds out that about the Queen's Gambit, how Oliver's mother still has it, how it was sabotaged, and all this stuff. So basically, he has the proof now that Oliver's mom is behind all this stuff, and so yeah, he was recording the whole thing, and he gets away with a really clever getaway. So yeah, so now they have proof that Oliver's mom is evil finally. Yeah, that's basically it. Jimmy finds Laurel missing and in her apartment, and so then he goes to Laurel's dad saying, we need to find her, blah blah blah. Anyway, the bad guy, the evil guy, says basically, I want to meet with Arrow or I'm going to kill Laurel. So, of course, before this, John shows Oliver what he found, and Oliver's kind of like, in disbelief, like, no, 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 it's my mother, this can't happen, like, this is all a lie, you know, all that kind of stuff. He just does not want to accept the truth. But then Laurel's dad calls Oliver for help because he can't take down this evil guy, so he wants to team up with Arrow. Now we go back to another flashback. Love the flashbacks. And this mysterious guy is just going to kill Oliver because he's no use to him. He can't fight. And he tied him up in a chair. And Oliver breaks out of the chair. It sounds like he breaks his wrist, and he fights back. And the guy's like, you know what? I think you do have, like, a fighter in you. You know, I like you. And he said his name is Slate Wilson. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's Deathstroke. I'm not 100% sure, but that name is really familiar, unless I'm getting it mixed up with Deadpool. That'd be kind of embarrassing, but whatever. And, so then, now we go back to present, and Arrow goes after Laurel, of course, and basically, he goes to the base where this bad guy is, and the bad guy set up exactly 24 men to guard his place, because he knows that Arrow has 24 arrows in his quiver. That was very smart, because now he used all of them, and by the time he gets inside, no more arrows. So, basically, they have Arrow where they want him, and they're about to kill him. But then Laurel's dad comes in and saves the day, and basically, he was about to kill the guy that kidnapped Laurel, but then Arrow kind of says, no, 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 you know, you're the police, I'm the vigilante. So that's kind of a cool little quote there, too. Yeah, so that was about it for that, and then we go back to the final flashback, and basically, they want to take themselves to the airfield, and that's the only way to get out of here. So now they're teaming up, trying to get to the airfield. So then the next step is turning you into something that wouldn't get you killed. So again, they have to train. Then he says, go pick a weapon from the box. So Oliver goes to this box. You know, there's guns, blah blah blah, and then there's Deathstroke's mask in the box. And he's like, whoa, whoa, you're the one that tortured me? And he says, no, 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 it's used to keep my identity safe. You know, there's a group of us. And so he's not actually Deathstroke. And he then he kind of reveals that he's part of, like, the Australian Special Services, so, like the CIA, but for Australia. So at this point, we don't really know who to trust. Is this guy saying who he says he is, or is he actually Deathstroke trying to capture him? We don't know. This could turn either way. This could actually help Oliver and eventually get him off the island, or it could really capture him and everything. But, just to bring up this point, if this guy is actually telling the truth, then in the first episode we see Deathstroke's mask on, like, a stake. Well, that might not actually be Deathstroke, that might be this other guy. We don't know. So, yeah. But anyway, after that, we find out, that was, like, the big reveal, but we find out that Oliver's kind of, like, turned now. He knows his mother's evil, and he's like, I'm gonna go have a chat with my mom. And he breaks into her, like, office, this is, like, later, as Arrow, and says, you failed the city. And, you know, we know what happens after that. So, it looks like Arrow's going to try to kill his mother. But, on the preview for next week's episode, we see that it looks like Oliver's mom shoots him. And Oliver almost dies. So, that's going to look like a pretty good episode. We'll see where that leads. But, overall, I thought this episode brought some fresh take, you know what I mean? The other episodes were a little slow, so this one brought back a little bit of a faster pace. Yeah, it was pretty good. I can't wait to see what else the show has to offer, because so far, I've really enjoyed it. You know, it's not the best show out there. It doesn't have the best funding, you know, it doesn't have the best actors, but there's something special about it that I really like, and I'm going to continue to watch it, continue to review it. So, yeah, as long as you guys keep on watching, I'll keep on doing reviews. You know, as long as one person watches this review, I'll keep putting them out. Because if it entertains one person, you know, why not? So thanks guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another review of Arrow. If you want to get your unblessed data fix before that, plenty of videos on my channel, action figure reviews, news, bunch of stuff. So go check that out if you want to. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at unblesseddata so you can keep up with me daily. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, guys. Talk to you guys later, and stay tuned for more. See ya.